Some brief stuff on the G7 meeting in Charlevoix. My high school French pronunciation is going good. Basically, the key points: number one, economic growth. The United States now has the fastest growing economy in the world, according to the OECD, or at least the fastest growing economy among the industrialized nations. Second, there will be trade discussions, as you might imagine. Third, there will be some important bilateral meetings. President Trump will be meeting with Prime Minister Trudeau and President Macron. Important bilaterals. And finally, I think one of the key points, of course, on the eve of the North Korean summit in Singapore, one of the key points will be shared security issues among the allies. And if I may, just perhaps because it's my favorite subject, the United States economy is growing. We're pushing through 3%. Some said it couldn't be done. It is being done, and we're proud of it. And I think President Trump's policies of lower taxes and major regulatory rollback are a key part of this issue. And I also think his role as probably the strongest trade reformer of the past 20 years, not only protect American interests, but to open up avenues of growth for our business and our workers, and frankly, to help open up world growth. The world trading system is a mess. It is broken down. And insofar as fairness and reciprocity and ultimately free trade, I think this is contributing to our economic growth and our confidence. A key point here on the economy is small business confidence, record high or nearly so, consumer sentiment, I guess best in 15 or 20 years at least. And of course, the jobs numbers have been superb. Recent article in the New York Times suggested nothing better could be written about the job performance. I loved reading that. And unemployment rates are down across the board. Really, we haven't seen such low unemployment in many, many decades for all categories, I might add. So I think the policies are working. And my great hope is that our friends at the G7 will take notice of these policies and work with us to extend and expand them so we can have a prosperous U.S. and world economy. So these will all come up at Charlevoix. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Kudlow. Appreciate it. A couple of questions on trade with China, if I may. First, have you reached a deal to lift the ban on CTE, as we've seen reported? And if so, what can you tell us about it?
No decision has been reached by both sides as of now. And of course, I referred you to Wilbur Ross, Secretary of Commerce. But as of this moment, no decision has been reached by both sides.
Secondly, in terms of your focus on China and tariffs on China, there seems to be a dual focus of this administration on lowering the trade deficit with China, but also on structural reform. How do you see the more important of those goals, and what are you doing to try to achieve the structural reform in particular?
You know, they are absolutely related, integrated thoughts. In other words, the negotiations between the U.S. and China regarding trade will lower the trade deficit if it works out. There are no deals at the moment. But the way you do that, this is an important point. I'm not sure folks have sort of picked up on this, and I appreciate your question on this. This is not a government to government. This is not the Chinese government buying a bunch of natural gas and soybeans from America. This is about reducing tariff rates and non-tariff barriers that will permit the increase in U.S. export sales to China. That's the actual mechanism. And I don't think that's been a clear point. It's an economic point. That's how you do it. And that represents structural change, important structural change. Now, as you know, there are other issues here regarding technology transfers and theft of IP and so forth. But in terms of and if you do that, if you lower the tariff rates and if you lower the non-tariff barriers and you permit increased U.S. export sales, we are the most competitive economy in the world, so we will get that job done, then the trade gap will probably fall. That's how that will work.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.